Today I would like to talk about what's going on in the mortgage industry. Getting a lot of calls and messages on are we still operating? Is it okay to still get a mortgage, refinance, buy a house? And then we'll get into some common misconceptions that have been going out there on the internet quite frequently. To the first thing that I've been hearing a lot about, which is are we still operating? Mortgage banks are still operating. I work at Contour Mortgage. We've actually been built to handle things like this for the last 3 years. So every single person in our company is capable of working from home. But there are a lot of things that are changing due to the coronavirus. First off, obviously face-to-face contact is not possible. So we're doing a lot of disclosure signing, reviewing documents, going over scenarios all over the phone, all electronically. Buyers can now sign things electronically all the time, so they never have to come into the office. As far as the next steps with appraising the home, they're changing quite a few things there. So the appraisers, we're getting first off a lot of appraisal waivers, so they don't even need to go out there. And then the next thing they're doing quite a bit of is drive-bys. So basically the appraiser never has to go into the home. They are still able to go into the homes if they need to, if it's an empty home, if it's something that has to be appraised. But there are steps for that are being handled, making sure everyone's out of the home, they don't touch anything, having all the doors open, anywhere the appraiser needs to access, just making sure they don't have to touch anything in the home. And then the final step is closings. So obviously you have two attorneys, realtors, normally buyers, sellers. I'm always there. I love to see people get the keys to their home. That's not happening anymore. So the bank attorneys are handling this very well. They're doing mobile closings where you can do things over the phone, mobile notaries. You're having mail-in closings where people sign things and mail them in, depending on the scenario, or where people actually do go in or they sit outside. We had our bank attorney sit outside on the tailgate of a pickup truck last week, where you have one person come up at a time and handle that. So mortgages are still moving forward. The rates have been going up and down, but still mostly all in the threes. So they've been doing very well. And business as usual as far as that side goes, as getting them closed. Now, a lot of misconceptions. I cannot tell you how many phone calls and emails I've gotten. The first one is interest rates are zero. Interest rates are not zero. The Fed did not change the mortgage rates to zero. The Fed
That's been a trending topic.
Yeah. The Fed cut their rate to zero, which does help with rates, but it does not make the mortgage rates zero. I think the lowest I've seen them at one point was 2.875, depending on the scenario. But they've been averaging in somewhere mid-low threes in the past couple of weeks, which is still phenomenal. I mean, when you're thinking about it, a low rate, and that's amortized, not like a car loan or a credit card, that's over 30 years. So still rates are phenomenal. The next one is, and especially here in New York, we're in the hot spot right now for coronavirus. But when Cuomo announced that there's, people don't have to make their mortgage payments.
Oh, that was huge. Everyone was all over that. Every Zoom cocktail, everyone was talking about that.
Yes, please do not throw out your mortgage statements or rip them up.
Ready.
There are quite a few things that the banks are doing right now. I actually called them myself just so I can get answers, because I have my mortgage with Wells Fargo, and so they're a pretty big bank, and I wanted to see how they would handle it and what their questions to me would be, or answers as well. And it's really a case-by-case basis. You first of all, don't stop making your mortgage payments. That would be a very big problem. But they're doing different types of payment arrangements where you can either not make a payment for 30 days, for example, 60 days, 90 days, some even longer. But then there's different ways of paying them back. And that's going to be based on your financial status. If you're still making if your income's still coming in, what are your debts? They're looking at all of these things. There's packets about that thick that you have to fill out. So some of the options are after month 3, you have to pay back all 3 months and the next month all in one shot, which if you're not working, it doesn't really work well with people. They're not able to do that. So that's not really a good option. They have options where you can pay them back slowly. So they're going to add onto your mortgage payment every month until what you owe is paid off. And even that may be difficult for some people. And then another option, which is the most ideal option for people, is if you don't pay, for example, for 3 months, they're going to add 3 more months to your loan term in the end. So you really have to be very, very thorough when you're looking through the documentation, understanding what you're getting yourself into. Because I called them, they actually mailed me a packet out, which I looked at. It says without doing anything at all, they're not going to report mortgage lates, but for 90 days. But that does not mean that's for every bank and for every person. So I would just make sure you call. You can go online and fill out a packet. They will assign somebody specifically to you that you can, ask these questions to, and going back and forth like a caseworker, basically.
Yep.
So just make sure you get all the facts before you do anything, because it's not just everybody stop making their mortgage payments.
And people can give you a call, Danny. You're available to, people have questions. They don't know what direction to do. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, of course.
You play a huge role in kind of navigating and weeding through all this as well. It's on everybody's mind. Everyone's talking about it, and look at all the misinformation that's out there. So that, that's
any
a lot
mortgage questions. I'm not going anywhere. So I along with everyone else going stir crazy, I'm working from home as well. My phone, I always say, is on until 10 p.m. Basically, now it's open whenever. I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately myself. So if you have any good recommendations,
you can also give a couple of tips on what to watch on Netflix as well. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. When we meet next time for Coffee with Contour with Danny, what do you see like being the next hot topic we're going to be discussing?
Well, things are changing quite a bit on a daily basis. Guidelines for mortgages are changing. As far as there's millions and millions of people who are out of work. So a lot of people have questions on that, what to do if you're in the middle of a mortgage process and you lose your job, if you're might lose your job but thinking of buying a home, or if you don't have a job right now and you're thinking of buying a home. I think we should definitely touch on that. But again, that does update daily. So what I know now may not be true in a week. We have to see how that goes.
But you know a lot more than all of us know. So that'll definitely be the next hot topic. So thank you
my
for
business,
today.
though. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Looking forward to the next Coffee with Contour.
Sounds great. See you soon, Faye.
Let us know what to watch on Netflix next time.
Ozark's pretty good. Not for the children, though.
Okay. That's awesome. Thanks, Danny.
All right. Be well.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.